What are you cooking today, Miss Martha? Well, I'm making salted caramel biscotti. You know, I've made almost 200 or so of these cooking videos, and I usually have the camera turned like this when I'm making it, because when I watch videos, if I'm watching TikTok or I'm on YouTube or Instagram, generally the majority of the time I'm on my cell phone when I'm doing that. So I like my videos that way because it fills up the whole screen of the camera. I'm going to try this one this way, but I have a tendency, I'm drawn to the controls over here. I'm supposed to be looking that way at the camera, so don't pay attention to me. It's about the food anyway. What are you cooking today, Miss Martha? I am making salted caramel biscotti. I haven't baked anything since I got my new Chihuahua, whose name is Biscotti. He's napping right here somewhere. I'd put him on camera right now, but we don't want dog hair in our food, do we? So the counter's clean, the dogs are off napping, and I'm going to bake. Let's run through the ingredients. You know, like when you're doing biscotti, Miss Martha's got the big bowl out, because everything has to go into the one bowl at the end when you're making the dough. So I need the largest bowl, will be my wet bowl. I need another large bowl for the dry bowl. I need another large bowl for the add-ins, and a little small bowl for the topping. Let's run through our wet ingredients for the salted caramel biscotti. Let's put this down, adjust the camera. There we go. Miss Martha looking like a professional here. And the wet ingredients are maple extract, oat milk. I've got caramel frosting, salted caramel frosting, water, dulce de leche, sweetened condensed milk, peanut oil, 2 eggs. Got to all go into my very large bowl, which is the wet bowl, and then we'll have our dry ingredients in another bowl. We'll work those into the wet bowl. So the dry ingredients, I've got powdered sugar, baking powder, salt, plain flour, collagen powder, protein powder, apple pie spice. If you don't have apple pie spice, you could use cinnamon, allspice, and nutmeg. I've got spiced cake mix. I've got cinnamon toast crunch cake mix. And I've got nutritional yeast and flaxseed meal. Those are my dry ingredients. Let's keep those over here right now. I will go in a different bowl from the wet bowl. My add-ins, I've got craisins, raisins, raw almonds, toffee chips, butterscotch baking chips, and caramel bits. Those are my add-ins. Now for the topping, when you're doing biscotti, especially with salted caramel biscotti, you've got your raw sugar and you've got your coarse sea salt. Aside from the large bowls, you need heavy-duty baking sheets, a pastry board, a sharp knife, cooling racks, and parchment paper. So I've got all my stuff out here ready to rock and roll. Let's get to baking. I'll pause the camera. I'm going to get everything into their divided bowls, and we'll pick back up to make the dough. I'm doing salted caramel biscotti today. I'll try these. That was good. Oh, okay, we gotta pause baking for a minute. Little biscotti gotta go pee-pee. Okay, let's pick back up. In this big monster bowl here, we have our wet ingredients. I'll mix those together better in a minute. I'm just making sure I have everything assembled. Our dry ingredients, we'll mix this better, and then we'll add that into the wet bowl. Aren't they beautiful? That's our add-ins. And that's your little salt sugar topping that's going to go on once the loaves are formed on the baking sheet. So, first things first, I'll mix until everything is amalgamated in the wet bowl. Then I'll mix together the dry ingredients with themselves, and I'll be adding those in gradually and making a dough. But before I do all that and get my hands messy, I've got to cut my parchment paper and line my baking sheet. So, we'll pick back up in a minute. Whew. Stay with me. Okay, we're just working our way through here. We're adding in the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. This is going to take a little while. Eventually, it's going to come down to having to get your hands in there. Getting messy. That's the best part. I'm just checking in to let you know it's going to be a little bit moister than like peanut butter cookie dough, but not as runny as cake batter, so that your add-ins won't fall all out when you're shaping your loaves. So we're almost at the point to add the add-ins. Miss Martha's out of breath. Woo! 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 You know what I'm baking. I don't have to keep saying the name of it, because the name of it is the name of my new puppy. I want to show you what he's doing while I bake. He's being a good boy. Can you see? Oh, before I get any hate on my videos, yeah, I have a puppy. He has puppy teeth, and his teeth got me there. It's covered with, the liquid bandage nail glue, so I don't have any open areas on my hands. And we don't say that stuff about Miss Martha keeps a hygiene kitchen here. Yes, I do. All right, I gotta put a little flour down so we can take out our dough and shape our loaves. Okay, here's my mound of salted caramel biscotti. I don't wake him up, he's sleeping. Dough. Flour. Dust my hand with. This is plain flour. Stick to me. I'm gonna have to cut it into half. And then we'll cut the halves into thirds, so I'll get 6 loaves, 3 per pan. 1, 2, 3. Okay? We'll be back up in a minute. As you can see, I've got 6 rudimentary loaves right here. I'm going to work them a little bit, not much, because I want the biscotti to be nice, hard, and crunchy from the bake, not tough from the overworking of the dough. I don't want raw flour on top, and I don't want any of the add-ins, the chips or the nuts or the berries, cherries, raisins, whatever's in this batch, to be exposed where they would crumble out and make the bake crack on top, so I can get nice clean slices. So give me just a minute. I'll shape them kind of a little bit smoother. I'll transfer them with my large spatula over to the baking sheet. We'll put a little of the topping on top, and we'll put them in for the first bake. The oven's preheated at 330 degrees. Be right back. Okay, we've got our 6 loaves made. And we're going to put our little coarse sugar salt topping on. Not only does this give that nice little salt bite to the salted caramel taste on the bake, but it keeps the loaves. They're not really going to, not baking powder to make them small. We're not baking bread cakes. I'll finish putting that in, pack that in so it won't blow off in the oven. Let's see if I can lift this. They're always so heavy. Okay. My oven's preheated to 330 degrees. Okay. One tray will go in and bake for 45 minutes. We'll take that out, put it on wire rack, let that cool. We'll put the other tray in, let that bake for the 45 minutes. And about 15 minutes into that bake, this tray will be cool enough, the first bake, I can slice those, about 1-inch thick slices, and we'll lay them back down, flat side down, on fresh parchment paper on the cool baking sheet. If they might not all fit, because you see the pan is basically full this way, it might take a little bit more than another bake to get the second bake in once they're sliced. But we're moving right along. We'll put these in to bake. I know my videos run long because it's, 45 minutes here, 45 minutes there. It's a lot to do when you're doing biscotti, but I'm at the relaxed point now. All the dough is made. I've just got to go wash my diamonds well, because I know I got dough all up in my diamonds. Wash my hands better. But on Ash, it's a wait and see kind of thing. I'll show you how easy. Everything's already cleaned up. Kitchen's cleaned up. Bakes in. And baby's still sleeping. Like a big boy. Look at him. He fits right in. Everybody else are offering their other little dog beds, and they're napping too. So we'll pick back up in a minute. Okay, first batch is out. Second batch going in. Okay, these are cooled enough that we can slice. Have to go back in for their second bake. Oh, Biscotti, did I almost step on you? Are you under my feet, honey? What you doing down there? You woke up from your nap? Get these cut real quick. I'll wash my hands and play with you. There we go. Okay. I finished slicing these, and the others, and they'll go back in for a second bake for another 45 minutes at the lower temperature of 300. Okay. So the second tray is still in the oven for their first 55 minutes. Usually it's a 45 minute, but because the cake mix that was in these have to cook a little bit longer. And when that comes out, we'll turn. Let's straighten this up. They can see you, Biscotti. Yeah. So we'll turn the temperature down to 300, and then go back in for their second bake. Biscotti, they love you. They love you. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing to Miss Martha Loves to Cook. My name is Biscotti. Be watching for me on her Facebook page. Salted caramel biscotti. Full recipe, descriptions, details, how to make them, and ideas for substitutions will be in the description. I hope I did this right. I don't usually do videos this way. I usually do them that way, so I keep feeling like I'm looking the wrong way. Whatever. I'm not a professional. I did the mommy and a lover of chihuahuas. Mwah!